Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Assman, and today's video is a little bit different. That's because for Christmas I got 16 different leather dyes. And of course, I'm going to document the whole experience with you. In this video, I want to test how these colors actually look on real leather using small test pieces. The idea is simple. First, this will help me choose the right colors for future projects. And second, it should help you guys get a realistic preview in case you're thinking about buying leather dyes yourself. So let's do it. So what colors did I get? I have 15 different Fiebing Pro dyes and one regular Fiebing dye. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I have 6 subscribers, so yeah, that probably won't happen anytime soon. But I have heard that Fiebing Pro dye dries out the leather a little bit less than other dyes. So I wanted to see for myself. If you're interested in this kind of testing, I might do a follow-up with different brands and products, so let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video if you want to see more. Out of the 16 dyes, 10 are different shades of brown, and the rest are your more exotic colors. You know, red, blue, green, yellow and black. For the test pieces, I cut small sections from scrap leather straps that I had lying around. This is untreated, natural veg tanned cow leather. And because it's untreated, I thought it would be really interesting to compare oiled versus unoiled leather. So I cut 32 pieces in total and conditioned half of them using my usual mixture of coconut oil and beeswax, which you might have seen in my previous videos. Now coconut oil tends to darken the leather quite a bit, so I might repeat this experiment with other conditioners in the future. If you know a conditioner that darkens less, definitely let me know in the comments. Just keep in mind, if you use a different conditioner, you might get different results. I waited until the next morning for better lighting so you can see the true colors of the pieces. For each color, I opened the bottle and used a paper towel dipped in dye. Then I dyed one untreated and one conditioned piece per color. Right away I noticed something interesting. The untreated leather soaked up the dye instantly, making it very easy to apply evenly. The conditioned pieces, on the other hand, were much more resistant and barely absorbed any color at all. That meant more dye, more effort and more time. I'm pretty sure that beeswax is the main reason for this. My hypothesis is that it partially clogs the pores of the leather, preventing the dye from penetrating properly. I repeated this process for every single color and the behavior was always the same. Another thing I noticed, the untreated pieces became slightly brighter as they dried, while the conditioned pieces stayed almost exactly the same as right after application. This makes sense, the oil keeps that wet look. As expected, lighter colors showed the biggest differences between conditioned and unconditioned leather. Some colors like mahogany and walnut almost look like completely different dyes. Black, as you would expect, was basically indistinguishable. But look at that green. That's easily my favorite color. You can definitely expect some cool future projects with this one, and also with the reds. The regular Fiebing dye behaved basically exactly the same as the Pro dye. Honestly, I couldn't see any real difference except that I absolutely love this color. It's called Oxblood Red and it has a slight violet tone that gives a really royal vibe in my opinion. There was one more thing that I wanted to find out. Applying the dye to conditioned leather was clearly harder. But I also don't want to leave my leather unconditioned. So the big question is, does it make a difference if you oil the leather after dyeing instead of before? Let's find out. I repeated the same dyeing process on untreated pieces and then conditioned them afterwards. I let the oil soak for a full day, and here are the results. As you can see, most colors look almost identical, whether the oil was applied before or after dyeing. Any small differences are probably due to how easily the dye was absorbed. I also couldn't feel any difference in softness or flexibility, so the conditioning seems to work just as well either way. So, what did we learn? Yes, the color definitely changes depending on whether the leather is oiled or not. But more importantly, it makes almost zero difference whether the oil was applied before or after dyeing. However, dyeing first is much easier, especially if your conditioner contains beeswax. So, for my future projects, I will be dyeing first and condition afterwards. I hope you have learned something from this video, or at least got a good impression of how these dyes look on leather. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe. I will see you in the next project. Thanks for watching. Bye.